Good day and welcome to Motorose Music. I am Jeff Thiel, and yes, we've got another album spotlight here. And I gave a big hint, well, what I thought was a big hint to what this might be. And anybody that collects albums, like vintage vinyl, they've seen this one or they have it. Usually they have it. It's just one of the most iconic albums of all time, and I know you've all seen it, and here it is. Yes, what else could it be but Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass Band. And yes, it's Whipped Cream and Other Delights. Here's the cover here. We've all seen it. There it is. Yes, I picked this up at, you see them in thrift stores and that, and I went looking and I saw other their album covers all kind of looked similar, but none anywhere near as iconic as this particular one. My mother had this. She bought it. She was a senior in high school, and she had it, and damn, I wish I would have kept that. I don't know where it went to. Must have just got lost. Maybe she threw it away. I'm not sure. So a little bit about this particular album. I'll put pictures up here so you can see the front and the back and all that. This Whipped Cream and Other Delights it was an album from 1965 on A&M Records. By Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. I guess I didn't call it band. And it was the fourth album from the band, and it was their most popular for sure. And most of the songs were instrumentals on this particular one, and I think that's what they did a lot of, if not most of. And as you can tell, I never really noticed the song names. It's Whipped Cream and Other Delights. Here's the song list. Side 1, A Taste of Honey. That's the song I was kind of emulating there at the beginning. That's close. It's a pedal that I got. I'll put a name of it up here. And that's as close as I could get to a trumpet sound with that. It sounded better on another amp that I don't have in the room right now, but that's pretty close. Anyways, I'll put a link in the description if anybody likes those type. It's like an octave pedal, and you can do all kinds of other crap with it. It's pretty good. Anyways, so the first side is A Taste of Honey, Green Peppers, Tangerine, Bittersweet Samba, Lemon Tree, and Whipped Cream. Side 2, Love Potion number 9, El Garbanzo, Ladyfingers, Butterball, Peanuts, Lollipops, and Roses. You get the idea. It's all basically foods. The only exception kind of is the potion, the love potion. So that's where the Other Delights. Anyways, this album was huge. It was at number 1 for 8 weeks on the Billboard charts. It was the biggest album of the year. I can't remember if it was for 65 or 1966, which year. It could have been both years. It was the biggest seller. But I know let's see, it came out in November. It's finally charted. So it must have been 66, I'm guessing, where that was the biggest selling album of that year, which is interesting because memory serves correct, 66, that would have been the Beatles' Revolver. Would have been a direct competition. And it was on the charts for 141 weeks in the top 40, and then over a year in the top 10, 61 weeks. So get an idea, 141 weeks in the top 40, 104 weeks is 2 years. So this thing was almost 3 years. Now it's nothing to Dark Side of the Moon. That was like, I don't know, decades in the top 200. What else do I have in the notes? The album cover, this iconic album cover. It is a model. Her name was Dolores Erickson. And she actually lives real close to where I am in Portland, Oregon. She lives across the border in the state of Washington. I can't remember, I don't think it's Vancouver, but it's somewhere close by. And she was wearing, it was chiffon, and it was not whipped cream, it was shaving cream. I think she had whipped cream on her finger, and it certainly looks like shaving cream on her head. But you can, if you look closely, you can tell it's kind of a material that's around her. And the crazy thing was, she was, well, it's not real crazy. She was 3 months pregnant when this picture was taken. And, you know, that's about it. I got this, I had to buy it at a, well, I didn't have to buy it, but I saw it at a record store, just that special, well, they specialize in new and vintage vinyl. And this one is, this isn't particularly, it's near mint condition, I would say. There's no creases on this thing. It's got a nice sheen to it. In the jacket here, you know, it's got, these always get kind of torn up a little bit. But the vinyl, there's only one slight little scratch on it, and that's all. I mean, just slight. Otherwise, it's perfect. Side one, there's nothing, not a scratch on it at all. So I had to pay up. I paid $15, which is huge on this album. You know, you can get them at thrift stores. They're usually, you know, look like they've been, you know, dragged in the back of a truck through a mud puddle. But, you know, they go for around 10, 12, or in my case, I just shot it up to $15. But this thing, like I said, it's nearly immaculate. And normally when I see the Herb Alpert stuff, it's in a thrift store, and they got tape on it, and people write their names on them, as they did back in the 60s. You know, you go to a party, you have an album, you want to make sure it doesn't get mixed up with somebody else's. You know, you would write Jeff Thiel on it. And they never thought these things were going to be worth a crap. They really didn't. But this one, if you've got a collection, you got to have this one. You know, there's from what I've told, it's sold about 6 million copies, and there seems to be 6 million of them still out there, because they're all out there, but they usually do not look like this one. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it was informative and entertaining. Please leave comments. What other must-haves are there out there as far as albums that should be in everybody's collection? Now, I'm not talking like, you know, Beatles albums or, you know, big ones. Just kind of maybe what have become quirky ones like this, but are still kind of collectible and people would be somewhat familiar with anyways. Put that down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep rock alive.